are you guys? Goodness. So I'm going to talk about Industry X.0. No? It's actually what we call the digital reinvention of industry. When you talk about industrial, and I'm going to talk about a very specific area. What is the industrial sector? These are companies that build products, manufacturing, those that are generating energy, mining, and high-tech, mga electronics na companies. And we actually published a study where we actually interviewed several executives worldwide to talk about what we call the Industry X.0. No? And I'll explain what that is. No? Anybody here familiar with the term the Fourth Industrial Revolution? Everybody? You've heard about it. Perfect. Good. So let's start. No? I think we are in a perfect storm, no? In terms of the change in the way we produce things, no? Industry. And this is driven by a lot of things. One is the speed of the market, where the technology, is moving very fast. And I'll talk about that in a bit. Also, everything is instant, no? Instant access to information and other things, right? Very fast. You guys are very demanding. You need the information now, right? Those information. The other thing that we wanted to talk about is the makeup of a product. When you define a product in the past, what you define as a product is normally hardware, right? It's a car. It's a phone. It's an electronic equipment, etc., right? But what we've seen now is there's a change in terms of the definition of product. The products are starting to become smart. We embed intelligence into the product as well. So we now have smart TV, right? Smart coffee maker, refrigerators, and the like, no? And in fact, you may have heard that there's a smart truck that was launched by Tesla, right? What was the functionality that was interesting with the launch of the Tesla truck? Self-driving. But that's not because everybody has done the self-driving already. Google has it, etc. The thing about the truck is that it monitors the wheels, the shift, right? Whether you're going to jackknife, preventing a jackknifing situation. Are you familiar with jackknifing? Where the truck, because the weight of the truck is uneven, it falls over, and it becomes an accident, no? So they compensate. The truck can compensate when they sense that the wheel is like imbalanced and the weight is uneven. Smart. The other thing that's happening from a product perspective is that it becomes connected. Everything is connected. Where in Google, there's the connected thermostat, no? Yung Nest, right? There are connected cars. In fact, we implemented one in Europe where it generates data. In fact, nagkakaroon pa nga ng gamification where drivers are competing on how well they're driving, no? And that's one of the things that we implemented. Actually, a team in the Philippines is supporting that particular application. The other thing about product is, so we talked about software, which is the intelligence. We talked about the hardware, the physical device, things. But companies are also moving towards what we call service. Three things. They build service around the product as well. So Michelin has a tire as a service. Have you heard of that? Tire as a service? They will guarantee the economy of your truck, no? The driving, how you're using the truck as well. So that is what is going on from an industry perspective. They're building hardware, software, and wrapping it up with services as well. Right? The other thing that's contributing to this reinvention of industry as well is the workforce of the future. There's a abundant supply of engineers all over the world, right? Including you guys in the Philippines. There's also what we call liquid workforce, freelancers, crowdsourcing, right? My tester, coders, and the like. So there's plenty there's a lot of talent out there. And finally, what we're also seeing is that there's a focus on what we call platforms. So it's a new economy, right? We got the Airbnb, the Uber, and the like, where, it's about platforms, right? Now, the changes in the technology landscape are driving the digital reinvention. Some data points, no? One, there are 6.4 billion connected devices and accelerating. How many of you have 2 phones? A Fitbit, an Apple Watch. There's a lot of devices that are connecting, even personally, as well as even the machine to machine, right? Cars, refrigerators, and the like, no? The other thing that's also happening is tons of data, right? Exabytes of data. Every time that you post a picture in Facebook, you're generating data, right? Every time that you're, taking, when a machine actually generates information when they drive the car, or a turbine of, a turbine can also generate data, mga sensors all over the place. And the other thing that we're also seeing is that the hardware is becoming cheaper. Sensors are becoming cheaper. Even processing power is becoming cheaper as well. And that's the processing power there, the petaflops, right? And I think the previous speaker talked about the rise of artificial intelligence, right? Everybody's making an investment in artificial intelligence, whether it's products company or, the big 4, right? Microsoft, AWS, or is Amazon Web Services, right? There's a lot of investment there. There's also Microsoft, Amazon, Apple is investing. Everybody, Google is investing, right? TensorFlow, everybody's investing. In fact, there are also a lot of investment floating around for startups on the AI area as well. So what we're seeing is a convergence of the different technologies as well. So you can see, I'm with Accenture for 28 years, no? When I started, I actually was using a dumb terminal connected to a machine in a specialized data center, right? Big machines, needs to be cooled down, it's constructed. But my phone now is more powerful than the machine that I was using, right? My phone now is more powerful than that. And what we're seeing is the acceleration of technology. We're seeing augmented reality, we got artificial intelligence, we got the industrial IoT, or the Internet of Things. We're seeing a convergence of technology. And now the industry leaders, with all of these things that's happening, has a lot of questions. Di ba? The CEO has a focus on growing their business, right? I want growth. The R&D is about speed to market, right? Produce the product as quickly as possible, right? The manufacturing vice president is about decreasing costs with the right quality, right? The field service director is how can we support all of this, right? All of the support. What's the root cause of the problem that we're encountering? And finally, the CIO is how can we move from prototyping to the actual production? Those are the concerns of people. Now, imagine if we can make it 10 times better, right? Because if you look at it, we can improve the product throughout the product life cycle, the product journey, from research and ideation to actual service and support, and using different technologies and techniques from design thinking, right, to agile, DevOps, to the different technologies, digital twins. Are you familiar with digital twins, the concept of digital twins? Okay. Digital twins is when you try to replicate a physical object virtually. So for example, using sensors, you can now see what's happening on, say, a turbine, or a plane, or a car. So that way, before you even actually fix something, you actually already troubleshooted the problem, right? Identified, oh, this is overheating here, what have you. That's a digital twin. So there's a lot of techniques, and there's a lot of opportunities to improve the product life cycle, right? How many of you are producing products here? or in a company that produces product. Very good. Now, we are currently in the fourth industrial revolution. Diba? The way we're producing things have improved throughout the years, no? From steam engines, right, to actual, cyber physical production teams. No? Actually, our manufacturing companies are one of the most automated industry out there, no? With robots being used for producing anything, right? But what we're saying now is that it's time, because there's a lot more than just robots and other things. It's actually about moving beyond Industry 4.0 to Industry X.0. And this is something that is a point of view of Accenture. And in fact, one of our senior managing director published a book related to this. No? And what is Industry X.0? It's about using these different technologies to improve efficiency, the operational efficiency on how you produce things. It's about creating better experiences for customers and the workers, right? And third is creating new revenue streams and business models so you can make more money, right? Those are the three things. That's Industry X.0. So I hope you appreciate what we're trying to do here. We're trying to tell the story about Industry X.0. No? There's an opportunity, because it's out of the gate. Things are changing from a manufacturing, from a energy, and all of the other things there. No? And it's about combining technology. Industry X.0 is not about just one technology trend. It's about combining the power of the different technologies, from augmented reality to Internet of Things, techniques that we are using, connected plants, new experiences, and the like. No? And when we talk about Industry X.0, we're talking about companies that are smart, where every component of the production line actually is self-monitoring, generates data, so that you can do something about it. And I'll give you some examples later on. Connected, so basically top-down communication is moving between machine to machine as well as people as well, right? And living, having the right people. And in fact, this is one of the areas where we need to help people work with machines. In fact, that's happening in the manufacturing industry right now as well. And finally, learning, having the adaptive interaction. A little bit off, no? Actually, there's one slide that I missed here. I think there's a missing slide. But the point is, we surveyed 1,000 plus C-level executive all over the world, no? Manufacturing, the ones from electronics and high tech, and other groups as well. All of them agree that it's important to do Industry X.0. 99% said that it's important to transform and make their operations more efficient. Everybody said that they need to use technology to create new user experiences, customer experiences, worker experiences. Everybody agrees that they need to pursue new revenue streams and business models. But if you look at the results of the survey, only 44% of the companies drives new growth. Only 34% of the companies transform their core, or how they're doing the actual production. And only 13%, very small, are doing both. So they're not maximizing the use or the opportunities in Industry X.0. So, how do you transform to the core, or transform to the new? There are 6 steps, right? First, you need to transform the core. Second, you need to focus on experiences and outcome. Third, you need to re-architect the new ecosystem. Fourth is innovating business models. 5 is building the workforce. And 6 is managing the wise pivots. Those are the 6 steps. And I'll give you an example. No? But before that, I will tell you, okay, let's see, what's this? I'll give you an example. A client, right? Schneider Electric. Accenture is helping them by providing a digital services factory for them. Actually, they're best in class. They have an industrial IoT platform that they are actually using and selling to their clients. Schneider Electric uses robots in the production area. They are selling their services. So Schneider Electric are producing, electrical equipments, and they produce that. They put sensors all over that, and you can connect to their IoT platform. so that when a particular business try to assess how they can optimize their electricity and the like, they can use that particular platform. So they can use it in plants, in grids, in other areas as well. So what are we saying? We're saying they're improving efficiency of the companies, right? One. Second, they're generating new revenue streams for Schneider Electric because they're selling this particular product, and they're creating new experiences, the three areas as well. Now, let me go through each one of this, no? Transforming the core, because I have 10 minutes. One is about automation at scale. Automate your core. Try to make it as efficient as possible. Integrate hardware and software, right? Those are the things that is very important. Example here is like the telematics for one of the, the Caterpillar, right? So Caterpillar, if you have a Caterpillar equipment, they have telematics machines inside the equipment. And actually, we implemented some of those systems as well, no? And it generates data. And the operators now knows when to bring your machine for maintenance, for preventive maintenance. Or if there's a problem in the engine, in the wheel, or even the tooth of a particular equipment. Here's another example. We implemented this as well, connected mine, using Azure IoT, one of the biggest open pit mining company in the US, in North America. And actually, I think they have deployed this in Nevada and one in South America. And what does this do? We put sensors all over the place, no, in the mine site to make it connected. It connects the equipments, so connected asset management, the equipments. You would know how you're progressing in terms of your targets to dig up the minerals and other things. And then there's a sensor in front of the driver. What is it monitoring? Micronaps. You know what micronaps are? It's when you're blinking, when you're tired. Why is that important? Why is that important? They're operating heavy machinery. One accident can kill somebody. Or number two, it also means that if you wreck a machine, that's millions of dollars as well. Safety, and of course, trying to do the cost as well, right? Second is experiences and outcomes, right? It's about smart touch points, about intelligence. Let me see the example here. This is the BSC group, no? Actually, this is interesting because they create woodworking machines. This is one of our clients as well. And we're supporting it here in the Philippines as well. And they are using one of our connected platform as a service, our IoT platform. And what they do is they generate data, which they provide to the client to say, okay, you need to maintain your woodworking equipment, or how can we make your process more efficient from a woodworking perspective. Okay, next one, Huawei. They uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to throttle the network, data voice network, right? And so making the experience for the customer. Actually, the other thing that is interesting from an experience perspective is a work that we've done with BMW, right? We created an application using Google Tango. And instead of you going to the showroom, you can now use the phone and look at the actual BMW car. Go inside, outside, so basically it becomes the showroom, right? So you can decide whether the color is red, blue, or you want different mags, different wheels, and the like. Another example, re-architect the new ecosystem. Essentially, it's about generating partners and alliances, no? In the open and co-innovation with developers, other companies and the like. Incubation, and a good example here is Siemens MindSphere. Siemens MindSphere is an open IoT platform for Siemens devices and other devices. The good thing about this is they open it up to developers, right? Including, system integrators, developers, startups, and you can now connect to the platform. So with that, they have a bigger open ecosystem that they can develop application and different use cases on this particular platform. That's a good example. Innovate new business models is how do you make more money by creating new services, right? So you have your hardware, software, your connected products now. So how do you use the machine-to-machine synergies? How do you develop an as-a-service business model? A good example of that is Hitachi Lumada. They created this platform They offered it to their company, to other companies like energy companies, etc. They can monitor how things are happening in the power plant and the energy plants, and they can make recommendations about what they can do, no, to improve the productivity of those plants as well, using their platform. By using connected smart products with a platform, they offered as a service. No? Even BSA, no, it's a service. I want to subscribe to BS's, this product, and you can pay a subscription fee as well. New revenue streams. And build the workforce. It's about man-machine collaboration. It's about reskilling for digital. I think this is very timely for this particular, topic, no? Reskilling and upskilling. It's important because technology is moving very quickly with AI, with IoT, and the like. And we need to be able to, to ride the wave as well. And a good example of this is Airbus. How do they do it? Using the smart glasses, you go inside the plane and say, make a mark here, make another mark here, this is where you put the seats, right? It's more accurate because the glasses is providing them instruction, they're providing more details and information. Using that particular smart glasses, they improve their productivity by 500%. So they're more accurate, they can produce more, right? So that's building the workforce as well, creating the man-machine collaboration. And finally, the last one is manage the wise pivots. The great Industry X.0 companies balances operational efficiency with generating new businesses and revenue stream, as well as new customer experience, right? They look at the wise growth strategy, mainstreaming of digital, looking at that, no? And a good example of that is our favorite, which is, I hope it is there, Google. Why is Google our favorite? Because Google's main business, of course, is search, right? But they have another department called Other Bets. That's where the Nest came from, the Tango phone came from, and they have companies that they're investing in, or startups that they're investing inside Google. Ondua is diabetes devices and products, and there's Verily is also on the health side as well. So on one side, they're looking at improving efficiency, and they're very good at that. On the other side, they're looking at other opportunities for making new revenue stream, new business model, and creating better customer experience as well. So to close, okay, in terms of everybody here, you play a big role in terms of this particular revolution. Understand what Industry X.0 can take you, and we have some materials out there. Second, actually can empower your entrepreneurial spirit. When I presented this 2 weeks ago, I said some of the ideas and things and products have not been thought of or produced yet. So, there's an opportunity to use Industry X.0 to produce new products. And finally, and third, learn and continuously grow your skill, upskilling, reskilling, which is the theme for this particular talk. And finally, set the pace of your learning, because there's a lot of materials out there that you can leverage. It's about using the different materials, the learning, Udemy, Coursera, and the like, to be able to build your skills as well. So with that, I'll close the presentation. Let me know if you have questions.